Hello friends, I'm Shelby with Shelby's Crafty Corner and welcome to our first tutorial in the Bloom and Budget workshop. I am your host, Shelby Kirsch, and I'm so pumped that you are here. So we are going to start off with something virtually simple. Then we'll get on to our big designs, as you'll see as we go on in the workshop. I figured we would start with something simple. It's going to be an adorable centerpiece. That way you can get your creative juices flowing, get your ideas just spinning around in your head, and think about all the things that you may already have laying around your house that you can turn into a super cute centerpiece. So, or, end table arrangement or what have you. What we're going to do is we are going to start off with a board from Walmart. Hobby Lobby has them too, but I just grabbed this board from Walmart. It's a 12 by 12 board, and I have a few of them. So what I really enjoy doing is grabbing a few different shapes and sizes of the different boards and things in the craft aisle and getting a can of Gaps and Cracks. If you've never heard of Gaps and Cracks, Google it. All it is insulation. You put the little nozzle on, you spray it, it expands. They have 1 inch, they have 3 inch. I usually just get the standard 1 inch because the 3 inch gets huge. Okay, so get a can of Gaps and Cracks. Now some of them, they used to not be reusable, but some of them now you can put the nozzle on and they're reusable. You don't have to use it all up at one time. But beforehand, us crafters had to use it all up at once. So we would get several boards, containers, things like that. You lay them all out and you take that Gaps and Cracks and you spray a little patty on there. Now it will expand, so you don't get too crazy. But spray you a little patty, let it sit overnight, and you have yourself foam already glued to your board. You don't have to worry about gluing down foam blocks or anything like that. So this has been prepped for about a year. I've had this sit in my shop for a very long time. So what I did was I took it and I just cut it virtually flat to create a centerpiece base. And now I know I can fill it with florals. So then I'm gonna take this adorable bunny basket. Sorry guys. Adorable little bunny basket. This came from Surrey Circle Home, my friend Mel. She is amazing, and she's also gonna offer you guys a discount. This is on your supply list. She has these and she has them in a bigger size. And they're absolutely precious. Then I took a piece of my Gaps and Cracks that I cut off of here, and I just put it right inside of here because that's where we're gonna put some more florals in. So what we're going to do is adhere this to our foam. So I'm going to take floral pins. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's these. Floral pins from Hobby Lobby. It's $7 for the bag. And you get like 780,000, I'm pretty sure, are in this bag. And gosh, I use these for everything, but it's just a U pin, just like this. And it's great for holding your things in place. So I'm going to take a couple of U-pins and I'm going to dip them in my glue pot. Oh, it's kind of tacky. And I'm going to start trying to run it through this grapevine bunny. I'm going to have to put some more glue on after I do this. So I just ran it through there like that. And I'm going to take it and I'm just going to stick that down in the foam. I'm going to take another one. I'm not going to dip this one in glue this time. I'm going to stick some through. And then we'll come back with our glue gun and hit it with some glue. I'm going to go around the edges, through the bunny basket, and into the foam. And what I'm doing is just creating some points of contact here. Where this basket is touching. That way I know it's not going anywhere. Now I forgot to cut off the tags. Let's cut the tag off of this. This is actually a Burton & Burton bunny. If you've never heard of them, not only are they a balloon supplier, but they create some super cute pieces for the holidays. Bunnies and their bunnies are phenomenal. You do have to have a tax ID to purchase from Burton & Burton, but there's a lot of people in Etsy that sell the Burton & Burton pieces, and Mel is one of them at Surrey Circle. Also on my board, this was actually meant to hang. We're not hanging it, so I'm just gonna clip this string off and chunk it. I'm gonna grab my glue gun and I'm gonna go around the edge. And I'm hitting where that floral pin is, but I'm also hitting where the bunny basket is touching the foam too. And then I know all my points of contact are covered. Get another glue stick. For glue sticks, I get them from Walmart. You can order from Amazon. Walmart seems to be the best price. And that is just the Gorilla Glue. I have found that that works the best. Now, if you did not want to glue your bunny basket down, you don't have to. What you can do is fully decorate it, and then your bunny is removable. You can put all the things in here, take your bunny off, put a different arrangement in the middle, and use your same setup here for summer. Keep it neutral around here so it can be used for a few seasons, and you can just take this arrangement off and put a separate one on. However, we're gonna make this one permanent, okay? This is gonna be super simple, guys. Super simple. So, I do need to glue down my little foam block in here too. We're just gonna give it a little glue. And stick that down in there. Put my glue gun back on my little charger. So now what we're going to start off with is we're going to start covering this base. Now you can do this several different ways. One way is to get the bags of loose moss, and you can put glue down and you pin the moss down to this. You can also get greenery bushes or pieces of garland, and we're going to U-pin that down. I'm using this because it's a different texture than what's on the bunny itself. That way it's not blending and the bunny basket still stands out off the foam. So I'm going to take this piece of garland, and this just came from Hobby Lobby as well. It's kind of tangled up. But I'm going to take it, and I'm going to start, this is our front since this is where our little piece is. So I'm actually going to start in the back so way I can cover my mechanics. And I'm just going to place it right here onto my foam like this. And then I'm going to take a U-pin, and I'm just going to pin that into the foam just like that. I'm going to bring this around, and I'm just going to start working my way around and doing the same thing. And this is also creating lots of great texture already outside of our foam piece that we don't have to use our greenery for, which creates it on a budget. Because this is just one piece of that Hobby Lobby garland that you can get for 40% off, you know, every other week. So I'm just pulling it around, and I'll turn it so you can see. Pulling it around like this, and I'm just sticking that floral pin into the foam. Now you don't have to completely cover it, but you do want to cover it, you know, most of the way. That way you're not trying to cover it so much with your greenery pieces. Then you end up using a lot of greenery, which eats into your profit or your price. Wow, does spam blow you guys up too? I have to turn my watch off. So I'm just finding some pieces. So this one is kind of hanging out here. I'm going to kind of fold it in, give it some thickness. I don't really want it hanging off to the side like this. So I'm just going to kind of fold it in here, stick it into that foam. Same thing with these pieces back here. Just kind of roll them in. Now, I can clip this part off. I didn't want to clip this part off before because I didn't want it to come apart, but now I can clip off our little end piece here where we started. If you're looking for a good tool, these are great. These are called Nippics from Amazon. They are an investment, but you have no idea how much they'll save your wrist compared to the ones you can get at Walmart or the hardware store. So this is what we have so far. This is our back, and this is our front. Lots of great coverage already on the centerpiece. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna move on to our florals, and then we'll move on to our fun parts, okay? So we're gonna start off with some greenery. This is a greenery bush from Hobby Lobby, and you can see I've already used some of it. It's $15.99. But I always buy it 40% off. I don't ever pay retail for greenery at Hobby Lobby. Never. But it's got so many pieces on it that you don't need a lot of it. So I've already used half of this bush. Then I'm gonna take it and I'm just gonna separate out my pieces. And it is what we call a pusher. That's where the stems move freely up and down to where you can push a lot of the pieces to the top. Now, if you're wanting elongated pieces like this, then don't push them to the top, leave it sticking out a little bit. Some of them we don't wanna cram to the top. We do want to leave them a little bit longer so we can give this some length and coverage out here. Now we can take our Nippics and we're just going to clip these off. Just kind of eyeballing your stem. You can always make it shorter. You can't ever make it longer. So better cut longer than shorter when you start. So that's about $4 worth of greenery. Not a lot, right? This is regularly $13.99, but Mel is giving us 10% off, so you get $1.40 off of that. And this, I want to say, I have it on your sheet. I want to say it's around $4 or $5, maybe $4. So right now we're still under 20. So I'm just dipping this in my glue pot. And it's just our basic greenery. So I'm going to start working my way around. Now these are designs on a budget. These are not designs on the cheap. There's a difference, okay? This is not a Dollar Tree or Dollar General workshop. This is making beautiful Easter designs on a decent budget. I'm not trying to put $100 into the centerpiece. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but you can, easily can. If you know anything about designer florals, designer ribbon, anything like that, you know that putting $100 into a piece is very, very easy to do. I'm just working my way around this base. And I'm not putting them all facing the same way. I'm not trying to make a circle of them all sticking out. I'm just giving it some movement, while also giving it some coverage. This is my side right here. So I'm gonna make this one a little bit taller to bring the look up, but it's not blocking anything. I have one more piece. This is my front here. So I'm gonna kind of do the same thing with it. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit, give it some height there. My glue is stringing everywhere. So we already have a really great amount of coverage in this. I'm gonna take one more greenery bush, and I believe this one, where did this one come from? I think White Bayou Recent Supplies has this one, and you also have 10% off at their shop as well if you use my affiliate link. So I'm going to pull a few pieces off of this. This one is not a pusher. Whoop! This one is not a pusher. So we're not going to use all of it because these are going to be taller pieces that we're going to build up the back with. I'm just going to clip 4. Now, a lot of people, when they're building their arrangements, do what's called a dry run. I am kind of used to doing this, so I don't. But what you can do is, if you're not sure where you want anything to go, place it. Just play around with it. Don't glue it down. Stick it in the foam. If you don't like it, pull it out. I'm already gluing because I kind of have an idea of what I want this to look like. And I'm not afraid of commitment. I am building up what I would like to call a wall right here in the back. And it's really just for visual representation here. Now I'm probably, let's see, we're gonna see how it looks. I'm gonna go inside the bunny into that foam right there too and place one more piece. Just kind of bring that up a little bit more, just adding a little more greenery in there. I like that. I like it, I like it. I'm actually, let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and clip the rest of this off. Because I feel sure I'm gonna find a spot for it. I really like the look of the building of the wall back here, so I think I'm just gonna add to its thickness. If you see me like moving like a crazy person, it's because there's glue strings everywhere. This is a little short piece, so I'm going to bring it to the front, just like that. So this is what we have so far, already a very full piece. Now I'm going to move on. Come out. To one of my favorite bushes ever in my whole entire life, and it is this daisy filler bush. You can get this at a lot of different places. I'm sorry, oh, it's getting in my throat. Hold on. Jam Designs and Supplies, White Bayou. This is not going to be a craft outlet piece. This is going to be more of a bougie piece, but it's still very cost efficient and a really great filler piece because it has lots of different dimension, and we're going to break it down. So if you look at your piece and you start trying to decipher it, you can break it down by the stem. This one, once it's pulled apart, now I'm not pulling the teeny tiny pieces apart. I'm pulling the stems that are wrapped together. And it looks like this one has 5 legitimate pieces. So that's where we're going to start. I'm going to clip this right there. I'm just going to start clipping them off. Sometimes you can pull them off. Sometimes you need to cut them. I don't want to cut them too short. I'll see it came just right apart. Just like that. You don't want to cut them too short because you're not going to have any leeway to stick it in. You can cut off these little flimsy ends once that comes apart. You want to be left with a decent nub, some real estate to work with. Now I want to find, all of these pieces are close to the same, but I want to find my biggest, tallest piece and put those in the back. I feel like this is one of them. So what I'm doing is touching every stem on this piece and separating it out, giving it some life, giving it some character. Now I'm going to dip it. And I'm going to come right back here and stick it. Now I'm coming off to the side because this is a bougier piece. I don't want any part of it to be hidden. Look at that. It's gorgeous. It is freaking gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to find the other piece that looks like it. Separate it all out. Dip it. I'll do the same thing on this side. If you ever have trouble in your foam where it gets knots and hard pieces in it, that does happen. Sometimes you might have to take your scissors or something and run it through and make a hole, drill a hole first before you can stick your piece in. Especially if your piece is flimsier, that way it doesn't just bend trying to go in there. Look at what those two pieces just did. Oh my gosh. That is so cute. So cute. Let's take our other three pieces. These are our money pieces. So we need to make sure we get our money's worth. I'm going to take this piece. I'm going to come right in here to this foam. I'm going to stick it in and then I'm going to bend it down. I'm going to bend it down just like that. I'm just going to let it flow right out of that basket. This is a taller piece, so I'm going into the foam inside the bunny, but from the back, just like I did that greenery piece. That way, it's sticking up out of the top. I'm adding to that wall, but with color. Beautiful color. And we have one more piece. I love odd numbers. Odd numbers make everything look better instead of making it look everything look square. So we have our three pieces here. We have one piece coming here, and we're just going to counter it and have our other piece coming out right here. Just like that. Look at that. It's bursting with color. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so pretty. We're almost done. Crazy, right? I know. Now, we are going to move on to our fun pieces. What I have is these colorful little whimsies. And then I found this adorable, those came from Walmart. And I found this adorable carrot garland at Walmart. Now, you could leave this and not add anything to it. I also left a blank space right here because my plan is I have two little bunnies. I'm not using both, but you could use either one. You can go with the flow and use these super cute moss bunnies from Hobby Lobby and stick that right there. Ah, precious. This came from Walmart. This little fat booty bunny. He doesn't really fit. He really is a little fat booty. But if you moved your florals around, that'd be really cute right there too. So we have our open space there. Now what I do need is some greenery. I wish I would have had like 2 more pieces on that greenery bush. So I'm going to grab a little bit more greenery. And I need something budget friendly. So we're going to go with our trusty Hobby Lobby greenery. I'm going to grab a little bit more greenery. And I need something budget friendly. So we're going to go with our trusty Hobby Lobby greenery. So we're going to go with our trusty Hobby Lobby greenery. This is our Hobby Lobby bush with the little flowers. This is my go-to for everything. And this is a pusher. I'm just gonna push it up a little bit on a few stems. I'm gonna work the inside just a little bit. And I'm gonna bend this piece down to where that almost looks like one piece just flowing out of it. And then I need to add a couple more pieces, that way it all matches and doesn't look like it's just sticking out there like a sore thumb. Need some coordinating pieces. Work one right here on the side. That way the flowers flow right out. And coordinate with everything else instead of just looking alone. I'm gonna come right here. I'm gonna stick that one down in the basket right here. I'm sticking that inside the basket. It's got glue on it. It's gripping to that grapevine. Now I'm gonna take our little fun pieces. These are on clips from Walmart. I don't want that clip. Sometimes, yeah, they just pull right off. And these are only 98 cents. So I'm gonna glue this one on the inside. I love whimsical. I love whimsical and fun. And so that's what I'm going with on this. That's why it's so bright and colorful. But you could definitely keep this neutral. You could totally just add flowers, keep a total neutral look. But if you followed me for any amount of time, you know that I love whimsy. Love it. I love whimsy. We got to go with an odd number so that it matches. So you take these curls and you can leave them like that, or you can pull these out like this and give your little curly some dimension. I'm just pulling it out from the center, creating some little whirly-doos. And if you don't like these little eggs, you can pull those off too. Just clip them right off. And they actually bend. They spread out a little bit. Little whirly twirlies. I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna do the same thing we did with those florals. I'm gonna stick it right inside that basket. Spread these eggs out. Just like that. Oh my God, look at all that color. Look at all of that color. It's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. Now what we also have is our carrots. So So I'm just going to go into this garland, and they're all on a little stem. See that? On a little stem. And I'm just going to clip it off. This was $9.98. So each of these carrots is not very much money. I clipped off 3. We're going to see what that looks like. This one's a little taller. So I'm going to stick it inside the basket on the opposite side of where we've been sticking stuff in the basket. Right there. These are so fun. So stinking fun. I'm gonna bring the other one to the front, and I'm gonna go right inside the basket right there. I have one more. I'm gonna bring it to the very front. Right kind of on the bottom, and just kind of lay it down like so. I know it's hard to see. It looks way better in person. But we're not losing our basket. We're not losing our dimension. This is very, very pretty. So last but not least, we could add some big flowers. I don't think we need to. The only thing I think this needs now is a bow right there. So we are going to use our ribbon that we're also using in our garland. And this is just a super cute 1-inch filigree, and it is so cheap. It is so beautiful and so cheap, like $3.25 for a 10-yard roll. And I'm just going to take it, and I'm just going to make me a little bow. So I'm going to make a little loopy like this, and I'm going to bring this up and make another little loopy. Wait, where's the, is this, it's almost hard to tell which side the filigree's on. Let's try this again. We're gonna make a little loopy. And I'm gonna bring this up and make another little loopy. Now I do need to make the loops a little bit bigger because we're gonna stick it into that foam with a floral pin. So I need my loops to be bigger, that way they'll stick out, or else they'll just suck it down in there and there won't be anything to it. Now I'm gonna take a pipe cleaner. Some call it pipe cleaners, some call them Chanel stems. You get them from the Hobby Lobby. I'm just gonna twist this around it to hold it in place. I'm gonna take one of my U-pins. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna come right in our hole that we left here. And I'm just gonna put my U-pin over this ribbon. And I'm gonna find a space. And I'm gonna stick it right into it. And then I'm gonna glue it down. Now before I go to yanking on it and fixing it, we're gonna let it dry. Now tell me how cute this table arrangement is that we made in 34 minutes. The great thing about this is normally if you are a wreath or garland maker or are interested in making a wreath or a garland, more than likely you're going to have leftover supplies. You're gonna have leftover stuff from making that stuff, and it's pretty simple to take that extra stuff and whip it together and make a super cute table arrangement. It doesn't have, this is a pretty big one. It's a pretty big piece of foam, but if you start out with a small piece of foam, you can make something really cute for your little end table with your scraps that you have left over. It doesn't take much ribbon. We can use a few carrots. We use a few things off a couple stems. So you can really, this is a really easy thing to whip together. It's something super easy to put in your Etsy shop if you want something cheap to sell, not cheap. If you want something budget friendly to sell to your clientele because you just have expensive wreaths in there. So it's something that you can do with very little effort. So now I'm just going to trim up my tails, and I'm just going to cut this at an angle because it's 1 inch. I guess we'll go up that way. Now that it's dry, almost, maybe not. I have to let that dry a little longer. So I don't want the middle of my ribbon to show. So I am just moving and positioning some of my greenery that was down here and pulling it up. That way it looks like my bow is behind all of it and coming out from it. Make it work for you. Move it around. Make it do what you need it to do. There you have it, folks. Your supply list is just a guideline. It gives you examples of the different pieces that I used for this. 3 to 4 different styles of greenery so that you have texture and dimension. A couple little added features and a focal point is really all you need. So look at the supply list, but use it as a guideline. Venture out, use your creativeness to see what other greeneries, what other flowers, what other whimsical pieces that you find at Walmart or Michael's or wherever you're looking to add, to collaborate and make this into something that somebody's not gonna be able to just pinpoint and say, oh, that's from the dollar store. They made that from all dollar store stuff, or oh, that's all from Walmart, or whatever. You can change it up and make it your own. Anyway, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I cannot wait for you to see the next tutorial. Bye, y'all.